Wubin lay in bed, gently holding Yuna in his arms, caressing her softly as she slowly drifted to sleep. A warm smile spread across his face. It made him happy to see her finally resting with less pain. He brushed his fingers across her cheek tenderly, his heart full of emotions he hadn't expected to feel. Just a few weeks ago, Wubin had thought of Yuna only as a little sister, someone he had vowed never to be involved with romantically. And now here he was, lying beside her, holding her close, practically her boyfriend. The realization made him feel both amazed and nervous as he stared at her sleeping face, deep in thought. At that moment, Yuna's parents appeared by the door. They stood silently, watching the scene. Yuna's father's face hardened with anger. The sight of Wubin lying in bed with his daughter, after he had strictly warned him not to get too close, infuriated him. He turned to his wife, who, to his shock, was smiling at the scene. Disbelieving her reaction, he tried to barge into the room, but his wife gently pulled him back, whispering for him to let them be. Furious, he argued, stating that Wubin was clearly taking advantage of Yuna, and that it was completely inappropriate for them to be lying together when they weren't married. His wife, however, shook her head. She insisted that they looked happy and comfortable together, and reminded him that Wubin had always been a caring young man. If Yuna was happy, she said, they should support her. She added that she trusted Wubin to take care of Yuna. Still furious, Yuna's father stormed off down the hallway, leaving his wife standing by the door, watching Wubin and Yuna with a soft smile before finally walking away herself to give them privacy. Meanwhile, Minsu was in the kitchen, busy baking a carrot cake. She had just remembered the promise she had made to Wubin to bake him a carrot cake once he recovered, and immediately set to work. As she mixed the batter, the butler entered and, seeing her there, quickly grew concerned. He rushed over, reminding Minsu that Sunjin had strictly instructed him not to let her do any strenuous work, especially anything involving cooking, given her pregnancy. Minsu only smiled warmly and assured him she was fine. She was simply baking a cake, nothing too exhausting. The butler protested, worried that overexertion could affect her or the baby, and warned that if Sunjin found out, he would be furious. Just then, Sunjin himself walked into the kitchen. The butler, relieved, quickly turned to him and explained the situation, hoping Sunjin would stop her. But to his surprise, Sunjin simply smiled and waved him off, telling him it was fine and to leave them alone. After the butler left, Sunjin walked over to Minsu, who was focused on the cake. He asked playfully what the special occasion was, joking that if she was craving cake, he could have easily bought it for her. Without looking up, Minsu explained that the cake was for Wubin. She reminded Sunjin that she had promised it to Wubin after he got out of the hospital, and had simply forgotten until now. Sunjin teased her with a mock pout, saying that she had never baked a cake for him, her own husband. Yet here she was, baking for another man. Minsu laughed and explained that Wubin had saved her life, and this was a way to thank him. Sunjin smiled fondly and pulled her into a hug, assuring her that he was only joking and that what she was doing was thoughtful. Wubin deserved it and more. Minsu playfully smeared icing on Sunjin's cheek, scolding him for teasing her too much. Sunjin chuckled and admitted he loved teasing her because it made her laugh. Minsu then asked if she could deliver the cake personally to Wubin. Sunjin agreed, but insisted that she shouldn't drive herself. However, after some negotiation, he finally relented, saying he would let her drive but would call her to make sure she was safe. Before leaving, Sunjin, in a low, teasing voice, said that if he didn't have work to do, he would smear icing all over her and lick it off. Blushing and laughing, Minsu shooed him away, telling him he was disturbing her baking. Sunjin laughed and finally left, leaving Minsu to finish her cake.